Well, welcome back to Carroll High School, everyone. We are on the YouTube channel for Z92.7 FM, and we are here to cover some more volleyball this afternoon. This time it is Bellmont versus Zionsville. Zionsville played Carroll this morning in the other gym. Bellmont played Hamilton Southeastern, and if you weren't able to catch our earlier broadcast, Hamilton Southeastern won that in three straight, 3-0, by the scores of 25-13, 25-18, and 25-17. Bellmont had stretches in each of the matches where they were playing even with them, and the first two sets were both at 1 point tied at 10. The last match, Hamilton Southeastern ran ahead, but the last set, I should say, but Bellmont able to kind of make a comeback, got it within 5 toward the end, but Hamilton Southeastern just a little too strong. So, chance to come back with a W after a loss. No shame on the loss. Hamilton Southeastern, the number 1 ranked team in 4A, number 4 listed in the nation. I think a lot of that due to their record from the past couple of years, where they went and only lost one match the last 2 seasons combined. I think it was a total of 37 or 38-1 or something to that effect, or a 37 undefeated string. My broadcast partner, Justin Prince, has all of that stats and information. He'll be with me here again shortly, taking a little bit of a break here between the matches. This second match, though, is now the girls are now on the court getting ready and warmed up. The clock a little bit more abbreviated. They put 10 minutes up instead of the normal 15 minutes, but that's perfectly fine. The girls got a workout already once, took a little break in between, got a little bit of nourishment, and now I'm sure they are all ready to go for this second match. Being that it's on the YouTube channel, and the technology is such that I'm having to use a borrowed laptop from our good friend Dane Filling, and he has all the commercials and things on there, but due to the technology issues that we've had the past couple of broadcast attempts last night and then getting on to the air this morning, I am not going to risk trying to bring that up and trying to load those up. So they will add those in a little bit later, and this broadcast will be recorded, and you will be able to catch the broadcast with the sponsors. I'm going to take the opportunity now to read to you who the sponsors are, and then when my sidekick, Justin Prince, gets here, we will start talking a little more about this match. So we want to thank, these are the regular season sponsors: Taylor Gauge Concrete, Joe Rubel Equipment, DDD Maintenance, Millerland Surveying, API Construction, Leakey Brothers, Pizza King, and Pampered Coach Truck. And so those are our regular season sponsors. We have some other ones who are with us for all sports, and they are all covering volleyball here as well. Dr. Laura Kugelhahn, Glazer and Ebbs, Cozy Cottage, and Grody Chiropractic. And then finally a list of sponsors that are not just for the fall contest here, but for all sports during the year. And some of these are names, most of these are names that you are all familiar with if you follow our radio broadcasts here at WZBD. Haggard, Hershey, and Sefton Funeral Home, Arnold Lumber, Decatur Dental, Graber Insurance, Hitzer Fireplace, Smith Brothers, Adams Memorial Hospital, Best One Tire, Adams County Solid Waste District, Masters Heating and Cooling and Air Conditioning, Innovative Concepts, the 9 Mile Restaurant, one of my favorites, Slusher Jewelry, Stormwater, Bixler Insurance, DeVos, Baker, Johnson and Ainsworth, Three Rivers Federal Credit Union, Indiana Physical Therapy, Kelly Automotive, Sureflow Seamless Guttering, and Don Myers Heating. So I will run through those occasionally as we take breaks. Unfortunately, I don't have the canned um, commercials and segments set up for those. That's just the fact that we are fortunate to be able to just get things going and on the broadcast. I'm not going to push my luck for today, and you will hear those fine sponsors throughout the season when we carry volleyball on WZBD, and we will be doing that throughout this week. As a matter of fact, we will be bringing you on Tuesday night, I believe it is. It'll be Adams Central and Heritage volleyball over at Heritage. And so Coach Ken Arnold and I will be broadcasting that one. And so we hope to have all of our technology issues settled and handled by then so that we can bring you a nice, smooth broadcast of that. We've got to apologize to the Adams Central fans from last night's football contest. Thought we had the technology all set up and worked out. Unfortunately, some unforeseen connectivity issues. It's more about compatibility, and those of you that work with technology out there know exactly what we're talking about. But the laptop that I use that was planning on using is Windows 11 on it, and apparently Windows 11 didn't like the board that we were using. We didn't have a driver installed for it. So that's neither here nor there. We tried, we made our attempt, but the microphone from the laptop was a little bit too much interference and noise, and so you got to listen to the Heritage Woodland game and Rex Brewer with that one. But again, our apologies to the Adams Central faithful. They did defeat Muncie Central last night by a score of 34-6 in a pretty dominant contest, although it was only 13-0 at halftime. But Adams Central really had the best of it pretty much the entire night. So we're down to a couple minutes here before the start of this particular contest. And Zionsville came in to today with a 5-5 record. Just a couple of leading stat people on their side. Josie Imes is their leading hitter. She has 91 kills on the season coming into today. I do not have stats, or we do not have them from this morning's contest. And it is Ellie Strecker, who's in the middle blocker, who is second on the team in kills with 75 on the season. Serving, they have 67 aces at a team, so another high-powered serving team. And I'm sure that actually Coach Carroll's probably looking forward to see how Bellmont handles that. And joining me here again is my cohort for today, Justin Prince.
Yeah, I think this is a team that obviously, like I'm sure you said, Bellmont beat earlier in the year. Just about a week ago, Bellmont beat these Zionsville Eagles 2-1 in a tournament setting just a couple weeks, just about a week ago. So a team that they know they can play with, they can beat. But still, a lot of talent on this Zionsville roster. A couple of high major volleyball commits on that team. So we're going to see how they do against this squad this time around, and see if this is a different Zionsville team than they saw a couple weeks ago.
And Bellmont, on the other hand, of course, when you talk about her, and we talked about her all earlier today in the first match, and we'll be bringing her up again, but Mary Kate Simon leads this team in kills. But even more importantly than kills, I think, she never leaves the floor. She is one of the top passers and dig getters for Coach Carroll in the back. We saw her making several outstanding plays from the back row as well as up in the front, and she's just a great all-around player.
Yeah, she is. She had like we harped on coming into to that first match. 207 kills coming into that first match, which was first on the team, second in the state of Indiana coming into that game. 20 blocks on the year, which was tied for first on the team as well going into that match. So a Swiss Army knife Coach Carroll on his side of the floor, and someone that obviously he leans on a lot for her experience because she's played, for the last couple of years, been a big part of those two of those state runner-up teams, and a girl that obviously has seen plenty of playing time and will continue to be leaned on by this team.
And another key player is Alyssa Gumbel for Bellmont. She is a Purdue-Fort Wayne commit, and she's just a junior as well. So both of those girls will be back for the rest of this season. Bellmont with really only 2 seniors on the team. The libero, Mills, Katie Mills, who does a nice job from that. And then middle hitter, Cammie
Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis. Get my last names put together. I've had Cammie in class for a couple of years. But in any case, those are the only 2 seniors that they have. And Cammie, of course, rotates around in the front and comes out on the back side as Belmont's kind of gone to a 6-2 type format. They got 3 setters that they've been rotating in. And it looks like Liz Bobet is going to get the start here in match number 2. She's out on the floor, number 8.
Yeah, in that match against HSE in their first match of the day today, it seemed like they passed the ball the best when Liz was on the floor. She started the year as their setter. I know she got hurt, missed a little bit of time, and I know they've kind of rotated through a little bit, but it seemed like they were most in sync and in system when Liz was on the floor in that first match, especially a little bit later in that second and third set. That's when they seemed to make some of their run, minus a few miscommunications here and there, which you're going to expect every once in a while. It seemed like they were most in system with her, and so I think Coach Carroll's looking at it and say, okay, how can we be better passing the ball off the serve receive in transition and more? And I think Liz Bobet is going to give you your best option here at the setter position to at least to start this match against Zionsville.
And we will see just how that goes here as we're about ready for the first serve. It is Leah Killinger who's back to serve for Zionsville, and right away service receive error on Bellmont. That was Katie Mills, who's usually pretty consistent back there, and that one came off her arms and shanked out of bounds here.
Yeah,
and
she
Zionsville up 1-0.
Yeah, Killinger goes for the libero there right away to start this one, and Katie Mills unable to direct that pass the way that she wanted to, and Belmont's down in an early hole 1-0.
Of course, in the game that we have now, it's a 25-point game, so
yes.
1-0 is not a big deal.
No, not at all.
And with rally scoring, I'm back from the time way back when you went to 15 and you didn't have the rally scoring, and a lot of different things in volleyball have changed since then.
Yes, it has.
So there's a out-of-bounds hit on Zionsville side. That was Ellie Strecker, one of their top 2 hitters from the weak side, tried to go cross court, went too wide, and so Bellmont gets it back on the side out.
Yeah,
1-1.
Ellie Strecker, she's a Louisville commit, second on the team with 93 kills coming into this weekend. Just ran the slide a little bit too wide.
And there's Josie Imes, the number 1 hitter on this team from the strong side, puts it off of the Bellmont block cross court. Actually got past the block and got off of a potential digger out of bounds.
Yeah, Josie Imes, Ellie Strecker, both juniors on this team. Imes leads the team with 118 kills coming in. Also an Alabama commit, so another Power 5 recruit for the Zionsville team, and another Power 5 recruit that Belmont's got to face off against here this morning.
And, yeah, if it sounds like that's all they're running into, it really is here today. That service went into the net for a service error, so Bellmont gets it back. We're tied at 2. Bria Schoaf with the serve, goes deep, picked up on a little wraparound. They go with the off-speed shot. Bellmont picking that up already better than they did in that first match. Scheiman off of the block, and there's another off-speed, and it hits Ellie Ross in the head. And
that's a way to use your noggin there.
Yeah, and it's a legal hit, and it's still alive. It's now on the Hamilton Southeastern side. They go outside to the big girl, and she, Imes puts it off of the Bellmont block and out of bounds for a kill. So interesting situation. It was off of the block tip at the net, and Ross came down, did not know where it was going to land, and it hit her right on top of the head, bounced up, and they kept playing.
I wish they could have gotten a point out of it, but still a good rally here early on for Bellmont, and something that they're going to need to keep doing.
So Maya Cunningham, the setter with the serve, picked up off of that Scheiman kill attempt by Zionsville.
What a dig there by Katie Mills there to keep that play alive for Bellmont.
Oh, and there is a there was a passing error, a misread as far as who was where on the court. I'm not real sure there on Belmont's side that was, and so there's another one of those communication unforced errors by the Braves. And that is exactly what I know Coach Carroll wants to try to eliminate as the season goes on.
Yes.
And there's another service error, so that's a second service error.
As I say, Bellmont benefiting this morning so far between HSE and Zionsville in this early matchup with them from the service errors, and now they need to capitalize on those. Now's your time to do that.
And so Lily Selking comes into set and she serves, and that time that kill attempt went long. The net was kind of shaking. I wasn't sure who it was that did that, but I believe that was Imes again attempting. And so Bellmont scores the point, and we're all tied up at 4. Selking serve, clears the net. Outside they go, and that was Abney with the kill, but a nice block in the middle by Jarvis, and I believe that's Coulter teamed up on that.
I think so. Much better already here for Bellmont early on in this one, getting their activity at the net, getting hands up, and getting opportunities to block.
And that time rolled over by Zionsville, and Bellmont goes to their number one option, Scheiman. She tries to go cross court, a little too sharp of an angle and a little too far. It goes out of bounds. That'll be a hitting error, and it'll be side out to Zionsville.
Just didn't quite give her the pass that she needed to get everything that she needed to into that swing, and thus the readjustment and why that one goes wide.
And so now it is 4-5, or 5-4 if you're on the Zionsville side of things. And the ball's kicked around at the net, and nice little tap over by Jarvis, which finds area on the court on the Zionsville side, and it'll be a Bellmont point. Inside out, and
again,
we're tied at 5.
Starting with the block there. They got another block at the net, and then that ultimately leads to another point for Bellmont. So the activity at the net is going to be key for Bellmont in this one.
And there's a nice serve by Scheiman. There's a service ace. Bellmont hadn't had too many of those today, but there's one off of the serve receive for Zionsville, ace to Scheiman.
Yeah, Mary Kate coming into this one, doing a little bit of everything like we said, but good to see her get an ace finally, get that serve down, and now Bellmont gets a free ball off of her next serve.
So 2 successful serves, and there's a nice shot on the weak side by Coulter. The freshman goes off of the block, out of bounds, deep, and another point for Bellmont, kill for Coulter. And as you mentioned earlier, Bellmont needing to get other options in.
Yeah.
Nice passing that time, though. They were able to get it up to her on the weak side and got a good swing.
Yeah, and good to get a little confidence for the freshman early on in this match.
And another service ace. This time Scheiman goes short, hits the little floating cloud that dives in before the 10-foot line, and it's 8-5.
I was going to say, this is the biggest lead that Bellmont's had all morning between their 2 matchups with HSE and with Zionsville, and Mary Kate dials up one more ace. How about that?
And it's like a pitcher that goes from a fastball to a changeup and back to the fastball. And that one, she rocketed into the corner and off the serve, out of bounds. She's had 3 service aces here in a row. And there's another little off-speed one, and it's got the defense free balling it over. Here comes Bellmont now. They go inside to Jarvis with a little sideways dink to find the hole, and another kill up front for the Braves. And it's now 10-5 as they put together a nice 6-point run here.
Yeah, a little out of system on that set, but still Cami Jarvis able to get just enough of that one to put it off speed and get it over the net, and falls in for a point.
So 3 service aces in that sequence and a couple of other good plays, and Bellmont out to the 10-5 lead, now 10-6. Served by Zionsville. Brown, and recovered nicely, blocked back over on the Hamilton southeastern side. They go deep. From the back row was Imes, picked up by Bellmont. And they get it out to Gumble on the strong side, and she goes through the block and down.
Already 3 kills here early on for Bellmont in this match. None of them going to Mary Kate Scheiman. We mentioned wanting to spread the ball out, spread the wealth around, and you're seeing them do it early.
And that's definitely a direct result of better passing.
Yes.
And there again, nice block at the net, nice pass up by Mills. They go on the weak side to Coulter. Her shot rolled in deep, picked up by Hamilton Southeastern. They're on the strong side. Off of the block was number 9, Maya Cunningham, who puts it down for a kill. So that'll be
Maya with a different number today than is on her roster.
well,
So we're going to assume it's Maya Cunningham at least.
Yeah, I don't know. She's listed as a setter, but
Nope, I believe Maya's still number 8. So we don't know who number 9 is.
Right. And number 9 is not on the varsity roster. They got one listed, Annalise Tibbs.
On their JV, so maybe we'll just say it's her.
Okay. We'll go with Tibbs. In the meantime, a point to Zionsville as we're trying to research that. And so it's 8 serving 11. There's a net serve, another service error. That is 3 of them, I think, for Zionsville as I have them written down. Liz Bobet back to serve, leading 12-8. Bellmont here. We are in set number 1 of our match with Bellmont versus Zionsville. And that one grazes the net, and it comes over on an overpass, and Alyssa Gumbel puts it down abruptly. Not too hard, just placed it nicely. 13-8. And again, another kill by somebody besides Mary Kate.
Yeah.
Bobet hits it to the edge of the court. Nice angled serve, but on the wraparound shot, it's Josie Imes from the weak side. I believe that was Josie.
No, that was Ellie Strecker.
Excuse me, that was Strecker.
Yep,
correct.
Ellie Strecker.
Get those 2 numbers straight. They're the 2 big hitters for Zionsville.
Yeah, Ellie Strecker coming into this one. 93 kills, second on the team, 24 blocks. The Louisville commit doing a little bit of everything for this Zionsville squad in the middle there. The tallest player out on the court by far on either side. And you can see she had a block just there right now. And she's going to play some key factors for that Zionsville team.
Yeah, it's definitely. She's got to be, what, 6'2" or 3"?
I was going to say, they don't list
them on this
They don't
one.
list heights on Zionsville's roster, unfortunately, but she's got to be at least 6 foot. She's a good whole head almost above everybody else on that side of the ball.
She's standing right next to Imes, and she's got 3 or 4 inches on her. And Mary Kate was up in that range, and she was over her too. So Bellmont now on the back set. Go over to Gumbel. Her cross court picked up, and they go to Imes. It's partially blocked, picked up nicely by Mills. Bellmont on the attack. It's Ross, and her shot partially blocked at the net, and it spun up over the net. When it came down, it caught the edge of it and just dropped straight on Bellmont's side. So a bit of unfortunate there.
Strecker getting just enough of that one to kind of force a little confusion on that side of the ball, and it drops in on Bellmont's side of the floor once again for another Zionsville point.
So it wasn't a block kill in the normal sense, but ended up being that way. Bellmont now goes to Mary Kate Scheinman in the back row, and she just doesn't get enough topspin on it. Sails a little long. And now Zionsville with a bit of a run.
You saw this from her in the first couple sets of that match against HSE, too. She really picked it up in that third. I believe she had 5 or 6, 7 kills in that third set there against HSE, but struggled especially from the back line to start that first match. So we'll see how she kind of adjusts here moving forward.
And that set barely got high enough on the net, but Bree Schoaf able to hit it into the block and down. So nice job up front by Bree. And Bellmont gets it back and maintain the lead. They're now at 14-12. Alyssa Gumbel back to serve. Her serve, no spin on it whatsoever. Picked up nicely, though. And there is Strecker with a little push from the far side. And it goes to Mary Kate, who gets it down. Nice dig on the Zionsville side of things. And so now they go over, and Mary Kate again with another swing. This time they aren't able to get it off of the defender and out of bounds.
I was going to say, she's not going to be denied that time.
Give her 2 or 3 swings in a row, and more than likely you got a good result on your side.
Yes, you are.
But again, good floor play by Bellmont to be able to get it back out to her in good position. So 15, serving 12. Gumbel back with the serve once again. Reception, it goes out to Imes, and that set was a little low, and she launches it over the end line. 16-12. So Bellmont answers that 4-point run with 3 of their own here. Hamilton Southeastern, there's Imes. She got into that one, but nice dig in the backcourt that time by Gumbel. Over to Scheiman, hits a little off speed in the middle. There's a little wraparound to Strecker, and it runs along the net and falls on Zionsville's side, so it'll be point Bellmont.
Yep, just not able to get that ball over the tape with Strecker, and it's a point for Bellmont. And just like that, they're up 5 here early in this first set.
So Zionsville is going to take a timeout here. We will just kind of keep talking through these timeouts. We do not have our sponsors commercials logged up here. Again, with all the technology issues, that's a personal thing on my end. But we will talk about some of these sponsors here during these timeouts. And again, Taylor Gage Concrete, Joe Rubel Equipment, DDD Maintenance, Miller Land Surveying, API Construction, Leakey Brothers, Pizza King, and Pampered Coach Truck. Just some of the fine sponsors who make these broadcasts possible for you. And we do appreciate, and when you hear their businesses on the radio or on the YouTube channel here, we would really appreciate if you stop by those businesses, do some business with them. Without those local businesses, we just can't do what we do, Justin.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we're happy to have their support and hope you guys can give them a little bit of love as well.
So 17-12 here. We're in game number 1. Bellmont with the lead here after dropping the first match this morning to Hamilton Southeastern. And on that serve, nice reception. They go on the weak side to Strecker. The 6, I'm going to call her 6'3".
I was going to say, we'll call her 6'2", 6'3", something along
whatever
those lines.
It is, it's tall. And she made a nice swing from the weak side cross court to get the kill.
I was going to say, she runs the slide pretty well there, able to put it down just over that Bellmont block.
And she, for her efforts, will go back and serve. Picked up by Mills. Out to Mary Kate Scheiman. She hits one, partially blocked, picked up on the Zionsville side. And there's a real smart play by Imes as she went up and off speeds and hits it into the deep corner down the line where Bellmont could not get to it.
Yeah, just kind of pushes that ball to the back left corner and able to find a little bit of gap in that Bellmont defense for a point.
So 14 serving 17. Strecker again. Picked up. Bellmont now running their offense. That set was a little low, but saved. Now it comes back in, and Mary Kate goes up and able to just reach it and punch it back enough over the top of the defense to get the point.
A little bit of chaos on both sides of the ball there. Ultimately, Bellmont scrambles, gets the ball over the net. Zionsville ends up with an overpass back to Belmont's side, and Mary Kate comes up and says, you know what, we're not going to do any of this, and I'm just going to put this one to bed.
And in the first match this morning, it seemed like Hamilton Southeastern ended up getting all those kind of scramble plays. And here now it's been Bellmont that's been getting the most of. And there's a beautiful short cloud-type serve. Lead balloon, we used to call that one. And it goes across and drops like a rock in the middle. Nice ace serve for Schoaf.
Also, confirmation, I did just check a couple of websites. Strecker for Zionsville is listed as 6'3".
Hey, how about that guess, huh?
Look at you. The
5'6" guy able to pull out. And while we're talking another ace serve, as Schoaf found another spot. That one, they did get a shank on it, but it goes out of bounds. So 20-14, Bellmont now in control here in game number 1. This time, Schoaf goes a little deeper, picked up by Zionsville on the slide. It's Strecker. No, it isn't. It is number 6.
That is number 6. That's Maddie Herman.
Yep, Maddie Herman with the slide. They use that play quite frequently. It's been mostly Strecker on that one, but that time it was Herman.
I was going to say, they like their middle blockers between Strecker and Herman. You can tell that they want them to get touches on the ball because they feel like they have the advantage there.
And Bellmont likes going outside to Scheiman.
Yes, they do.
And they did that just very successfully right there. You need a point or a side out. Let's just shoot it out to our number 1
I was going to say,
option.
Let's set it out to our Big Ten commit and let her do her thing. And again, they're spreading the wealth. That was just Mary Kate's 3rd kill so far of this match. And so good to see them spreading the ball out. And she's able to get touches like that because they have been able to get other people involved.
And Bellmont a little bit on a scramble, and Zionsville, as Mary Kate kind of dinked it across, and one of the Zionsville girls was trying to go get to it and went across the line underneath. So kind of a cheap point for Belmont, but they'll take it 22-15.
Point to point, that's the way you got to look at it.
And Lily Selking got underneath that one. No topspin whatsoever, and it sailed about 6 feet beyond the end line. So point to Zionsville, 22-16. Belmont still in control here in game number 1.
This is a big time here in this set here for Belmont, too. Strecker is out on the bench, out of rotation right now, not playing in that back row. So good chance for them to try and end this set, but unfortunately Josie Imes goes ahead and says, slow it down a little bit. She gets an ace.
Well, and a bit unfortunate for Belmont is that one just barely touched the net, so it was out of Cammie Jarvis's reach and dropped in front of the other side. And there's a passing error as they were trying to pass it up and kind of mishit it, and Jarvis didn't read it quickly enough, and just like that, it's 22-18. Belmont's still in control.
In need of a side out here. You don't want to let Zionsville back into this match too much here.
Exactly. Imes with the serve, picked up this time, fielded cleanly, and Belmont goes to, and they go to Mary Kate, and
she
they
gets a touch at the net.
Yeah, it went long, but they were immediately calling for the touch, and the chair umpire gave it to them. So the Zionsville bench, I don't think necessarily agreed, but Belmont now 23-18. Mary Kate has a chance. She had a couple 3 ace serves earlier, and they go outside, does Zionsville to Abney, and she goes long. So 24-18, set point here in set number 1. Mary Kate Scheinman back at the serve, looks over at coach, see what to do. She comes in, hits the fastball, it goes deep, picked up though by Zionsville. They try to go outside, and picked up nicely by Belmont. And they go outside to Gumble, but the set is off the net quite a bit, and Alyssa had to really reach for it and couldn't get it.
I was going to say, Alyssa kind of had to readjust herself, couldn't get everything in that swing that she wanted to. Lily Selkins sent out to her a little off the mark, and so forces Alyssa to adjust, and she can't get it over the net.
So 19 serving 24. Belmont goes out to Gumble off the block. Zionsville now on the weak side. A little push on that one. They go back, does Belmont to Mary Kate Scheinman, and her shot just over the end line. It was close, but it was out. And so now we're at 24-20. Any side out, and Belmont will take this. They just need to get one up. And it's going out to Gumble. She rolls it in deep, picked up by Zionsville. And they go outside to their number 1 option, and she just pushes it deep, and Belmont not able to quite recover from it. And it's a point for Zionsville, and we're at 24-21.
Yeah, Strecker back into the game now in the front row, able to get a kill there. A couple points in a row here for Zionsville as they're now back within 3, and we've got a timeout for Belmont.
Yeah, Belmont had it at 24-18 and looked like they were going to put it away, and then 3 in a row here now on the Zionsville side. So Coach Carroll's going to get them over, try to settle them down. They just need to get the side out. They got 3 points to do that.
Yeah.
And you'd think you'd be able to do that easily, but
volleyball's a weird game sometimes, though. But
it's a huge game of momentum,
yes,
for sure. One team can really look bad for a while, and then all of a sudden they get things going, and then get the momentum on their side, and it seems like all the balls fall their way. Then it can go back the other way.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's all kind of what Coach Carroll calls this timeout for. He's basically just trying to calm the girls down, say, hey, we need 1 point. That's all we need. Let's go get the 1 point. Let's get our set, and let's get out of here and get to that second set.
So it is number 3, Lauren Brown, serving. She's a senior for this Zionsville squad. She's served these 3 points in a row, and she's back, and she hits it, and it's in the middle, picked up by Mills. And that set called for 2 hits for Selking as she ran underneath that one and didn't get it cleanly. Another unforced error as that pass really was pretty good. 24-22.
Now,
there's
something,
the pass.
I was just saying, something to make note of, the double hit is no longer a thing at the college level. That is not a thing at the high school level, though. So the double hit is still a thing at the high school level, which is why that was called there.
Well, and in the meantime, Coulter hits it just long on the cross court, and it's 24-23. So one more chance to put this away for Belmont. Southeastern or Zionsville picks that up, blocked at the net, comes back. They're going outside. There's a shot picked up in the backcourt. Selking with the pass over to Gumbel, and it's passed back, and Zionsville struggling to get it across, and they will not. So Bellmont, after giving up a run there at the end, able to finally get the deciding game-winning point and win first set 25-23.
I was going to say, it's not always about how you do it. It's just a matter of if you do, and Bellmont definitely didn't make it look pretty there near the end of that first set, but you know what? They'll take the set victory over anything.
No, and it was a 5-0 run there by Zionsville that got them back into that 24-23 situation, but Bellmont able to pull that one out. So game one, Bellmont now up 1-0, and the teams will head over and huddle up for a little bit, and I don't know how many stats you got kind of put together for the first game there, Justin?
Yeah, so like we said, we mentioned coming into these first couple of matches that Bellmont needed to spread the love a little bit offensively, and they certainly did that in that first set. Mary Kate Scheinman with 4 kills coming out of that set. Kaylee Coulter with 1. Bria Schoaf also with a set. Alyssa Gumbel, Cammie Jarvis both with 2 kills to finish out that first set. So good to see them spreading the love a little bit, but also, knowing who their workhorse is and when they had to go to her in Mary Kate Scheinman. Mary Kate also with 3 aces, and Bria Schoaf with a pair of aces as well in that set to help lead the way. In terms of things for Zionsville, they were really a 2-trick pony there in that first set. It was 2 girls. It was Josie Imes, the future. Where
she's
can't remember.
Louisville, or is she?
The Alabama.
She's
commit,
Alabama.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Yes. Josie Imes, the Alabama commit with 3 kills, and then Ellie Strecker, the Louisville commit, also with 3 kills and a pair of blocks there in that first set to help lead the way. Bellmont, though, again, took the first set. Good thing to build on. Now, hopefully, they can keep going here in this second.
Really, other than that little stretch at the end, the floor play for Bellmont was much improved in that first set over what they had done earlier against Hamilton Southeastern. Part of that, the kind of pressure that Hamilton Southeastern puts on you, but part of it was just they were making more of the normal plays and the plays that you expect them to make. And in that first match this morning, they had some unforced errors.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, HSE is very, very good. We're not going to deny that. Zionsville's not HSE, but Bellmont able to pass the ball much better out of the serve receive, which ultimately led to them getting their offense more in system and being able to control the tempo for much of that first set, which allowed them to take care of things.
Again, our sponsors for the broadcast, we don't have the spots loaded up at this point. They will be put into the broadcast. You'll be able to access this later on the YouTube channel, complete with all the broadcast bells and whistles. But for right now, we'll just kind of mention these sponsors. Dr. Laura Kukelhan, one of our sponsors, and she has sponsored the WZBD.com site from the inception here a little over a year ago. Glazer and Ebbs, one of our sponsors, Cozy Cottage, and Grody Chiropractic. So again, we thank them for their sponsorship and for making it possible for us to do what we do. Just a couple of broadcast notes this week. For volleyball, we have Adams Central at Heritage on the radio, 92.7 FM. That's on Tuesday. That'll be yours truly and the coach, Ken Arnold. And then on Thursday, it'll be Leo at Heritage, and it'll be Rex Brewer on the broadcast. And I think he might have Coach Arnold with him as well as a sidekick. And so Heritage featured the next couple of matches. Adams Central on Tuesday playing them, and then Leo at Heritage on Thursday. And then, of course, next weekend we do it all again with football, and it just goes on and on. So your high school sports leader in Northeast Indiana, WZBD and WZBD.com. So we're ready to start game 2. Bellmont did pull up game 1, 25-23. And they get the serve here in game 2. And as it comes across, they go to Mary Kate Scheinman in the back row. She hits it off of one of the Zionsville legs back there and goes out of bounds. And it'll be a kill for Bellmont. They have the 1-0 lead.
I was going to say, good to establish her here early. As much as we do want to see them spread the ball out, it's good to see them establish her.
And there is that swinging bunt service ace. That hit the top of the net and just dribbled across. And again, 20 years ago, you couldn't do that, Justin. I know that's before your time, but some of us old timers remember when this game, you couldn't hit the net on the serve, or it was side out to the other side. There's the big girl Imes on the outside with the kill as Hamilton Southeastern handled that serve and got into their offense, and she puts it down. So back is Ellie Strecker, 6'3", confirmed 6'3".
Yes, confirmed 6'3".
Louisville commit, and she puts her serve in the middle, and that is a little bit of an overpass there as Gumbel came up to field it, and a little too strong and just shot down over the net.
Maddie Herman able to put that one down off the overpass from the Braves.
And so we're tied at 2. Strecker dribbling the the volleyball in the backcourt. Goes up, hits it. This one's more of the fastball variety. Picked up, though, nicely by Bellmont. And Coulter on the strong side. Didn't rip it too hard. Hit it into the net. Down on the other side, though. Placed it well. Nice job for the freshman to get her kill.
Yeah, Bellmont doing much better, a much better job this time around. This match, beating the block, able to get the ball off of the hands rather than straight down onto their side of the ball.
And there's a huge swing outside by Imes, and Bellmont with the block, but unfortunately it trickled and landed just out of bounds, but a pretty good block put up by the Braves. But give Imes the kill, which is what she does best, and we're tied at 3. Now this one's Cunningham back to serve. Bellmont, and that one came over on 1. Mary Kate with the pass. Nice job by Bobet to get underneath that one and get it back to Mary Kate, who puts it down.
Like I said, last match, it seemed like the Braves really started to do most of their damage when Liz Bobet was in at the setter position, and she's in to start this second set here again. And Mary Kate Shyman, the benefactor off of that beautiful pass to help get her set up for a cross-court kill that Zionsville just had no answer for.
And so it is Bree Shove, the sophomore, back serving. And again, this Bellmont team loaded with underclassmen. Her serve picked up, and they do a little shoot set across, picked up, though, nicely by Bellmont. And Bobet goes out to Mary Kate, who goes off the block, and it's deflected too far for Zionsville to pick it up. And a kill for Mary Kate Shyman, 5-3 Bellmont.
Yeah, Mary Kate up to 7 kills already here through the first 2 sets of this match. 3 already in this set alone. But again, they established other people early, which is what's allowed her to get these looks on these swings here.
There's a back set, a huge back set, and it wasn't done very well. And unfortunately, Bobet had to pick up the dink that came across, and when she passed it up in the air, nobody stepped in to take the set, and another unforced error for Bellmont that time.
Yeah, just a lack of communication on that one. You saw Mary Kate Shyman saying, we need to talk, if Liz has to go get that first ball.
Yep. And Bellmont, there's another kind of an overpass, that time by Mills.
Don't know if that one would have made it over the net at all, so we'll say that one just went into the net, but tough on the serve receive there for Bellmont.
And so that is a, I guess that would qualify as a service ace because it was deflected into the net. And Imes is the one doing the serving. Bellmont goes out to Mary Kate, and she just puts it down off of Cunningham, who had literally no chance to receive that one.
Beautiful in-system play there. Mary Kate able to get everything that she wanted to in that. It was right on time. The pass was perfect. That is what you love to see.
And so now this time on the switch for setters, it'll be Gracie Riggs who comes in. Lily Sucking had a little bit of trouble last time. And Hamilton Southeastern launches one deep from the middle. Or Zionsville, sorry.
That's the tough thing about doing 2 games in one day, especially this close together.
It sure is. So Bellmont, though, with the point. And there's an ace serve by Riggs as it goes out of bounds off of the receptionist. And it's 8-5. So nice job by Gracie. And she's just a sophomore. And she has worked her way into the setting lineup here with kind of the early injuries, I think, and she's shown some pretty good ability here early. There she is, puts it up in the middle, and Cammie Jarvis took a swing at it, caught about half the ball. It rolled down the net and fell on Zionsville side.
She kind of gave this look, too, like, oh, I don't know if I should have gotten a point on that one, but, hey, I think she'll take it.
Absolutely, 9-5 Bellmont. Hamilton Southeastern with the off-speed hit. And there's a pass from Mills up to Mary Kate, who caught the net and rolled down the net and went just outside the, just out of bounds.
I thought the refs were maybe going to call a touch on Zionsville there, but ultimately Bellmont not able to get it, so it's a point for the Eagles.
Yeah, that one hit the top of the net and just kind of rolled down the net a little too far. And there's Riggs, and I think she might have stepped across the line, but they let it go. And back over to Hamilton Southeastern, and on the strong side over here, that was number 9, which, again, we're not sure who it is. So there's a Annalise Tibbs on the JV that's number 9. We're going to say that's who it was, and she tried to go down the line out of bounds, and it's 10-6 Bellmont. There was a push in the middle by Strecker, and on the ensuing play, Bellmont had control of it, tried to go outside to Ross and just didn't get it up to her in time. She couldn't get up fast enough to get to it, and it'll go back to Zionsville.
Just a little too tight to the net on that set for Ella Ross to be able to do much with it. She tried to touch it, didn't want to cross over and have a net violation, just ultimately left it a little short.
And I think those are, again, the kind of plays that as the season goes on, they'll get just a little bit sharper on, an extra couple of inches on that set, and they'll get it. There's an out hit that went long by Bellmont's Gumbel. And so hitting error that time, and it's 8-10. Bellmont with the lead, Zionsville with the serve. And there's good hustle by Gracie Riggs just to get to it. Bellmont had to free ball it, though. And on the slide, Bellmont's there. It's Cammie Jarvis and Alyssa Gumbel. I'm not sure which one got it, but blocked it back down for the kill.
I was going to say, we'll credit each of them with a half a block there, but that was a good recovery from Bellmont on what was almost a disastrous play there in the middle off of the serve.
And that's why you hustle on those, even if you don't get a great play off of it. Oh. And that was one where there was an overpass up at the net, and Bria Schoaf went up to hit it, and when she tapped it, it went right back into the tape and came right back to her. So it'll go to to Zionsville. 9 serving 11, still a 2-point contest here. Bellmont had, I think that opened up a 4-point lead, is the most they've had in this particular set. That one goes outside. Nice job by Ross, as Schoaf's set was a little out and a little short again, but she got a good rip into the block and down. So Ella Ross with another kill.
Ella Ross on the board, her first kill of this match against Zionsville, but a good job by Gracie Riggs to get her a chance to swing, and Ella finds the floor in the middle of the court.
Bobet in to set and also to serve. And there's a big swing by Imes and a big block by Bellmont. I don't know if that was Schoaf or
I think it was Schoaf. The way that they reacted, it looked like Schoaf got all of that one there at the net solo, and able to get a big left hand on that one as it heads towards the Zionsville bench and just lands in bounds.
And Schoaf is not 6'3".
No, she is not.
She is one of your shorter middle front people if you compare them here. And there was kind of an off-speed that found the hole in the middle of the Bellmont defense. They have not really allowed that much this game, but that one got through. And generally, again, that's one of those trademarks of Belmont's defense. They very seldom let that ball hit the court in the middle. Strecker with the serve, picked up in the backcourt by Gumbel. Little short set in the middle, and picked up, though.
Good scramble.
Yep. And both up at the net now. It was on Belmont's side, but Imes was able to get up high enough to get a force on it and push it down on Belmont's side.
There's a reason she's going to Alabama. That's what we're going to say there. She was able to just get enough of a hand on that one to keep Bellmont off of their play.
And then Bellmont now goes into Gumbel in the middle. Nice dig in the backcourt there by Zionsville. A little scramble at the net again. Mills, though, with able to get it up there, and Coulter was trying to free ball it deep and get it a little too low and caught the net. So, 13-12. fairly.
There's been a good response from Zionsville in this set here to come back and, keep the momentum they had at the end of that first set going. But Bellmont needs to respond here, start passing a little bit better like they did early in that first set if they want to be able to separate a little bit.
And there's another block. This time I think it was Gumbel that got that one on Imes, as the set for Imes was just a little bit off. She couldn't really rip at it and hit it right into the block, and it came down at her feet. 14-12 Bellmont. Gumbel goes back to serve. Into the middle, passed up nicely. There's that backhand slide, and her shot goes deep. That was number 6. That's Herman on that backslide.
Yeah,
it was a play we've
seen. It was a good pass. It just seemed like she didn't quite finish through like she needed to, and it floats all the way to the corner, and Bellmont will take the point.
And she's not 6'3".
No, she's
not.
So
she has to hit it. And there's again another attempt by Herman into the net. This time more of a traditional variety, and so at 16-12, Coach Goldstein from Zionsville will take a timeout, and so we're going to take the opportunity to read you a few more of our sponsors, the ones who are most responsible for being able to bring you high school sports and specifically volleyball here on WZBD and on the YouTube channel. Haggard Hershey is one of them. Arnold Lumber, longtime sponsor of sports on WZBD. Decatur Dental, Graber Insurance. The studio's hosted in the Graber Insurance building. They have been a longtime sponsor. Hitzer Fireplace, Smith Brothers, a couple of Bern area sponsors that have been with us for a long time. Adams Memorial Hospital sponsors our pregame show for football, and here sponsoring our high school sports as well. And Best One Tire, one of our sponsors. So again, when you hear them, and if you get a chance, go give them some business, give them some love. And on the play, getting back to the action, Zionsville goes outside to Imes, and she just unloads, but it goes way long.
I was going to say, Bellmont starting to benefit from some errors here from the Zionsville squad. I think that's 3 hitting errors in a row now.
And there's an ace serve for Gumbel as the reception hits the antenna out of bounds. And so Bellmont now stretched it out to an 18-12 lead.
Yeah, Alyssa Gumbel, 25 aces coming into the matchups today, which led the Braves, and that's her first one of this match against Zionsville here.
There's a nice back set to Coulter, picked up, though, by Zionsville, and a block at the net by Bellmont, and comes back over. Oh, and they let, I was going to say, they let Bobet get away with that one, but that was definitely one of those doubles.
Yeah. Yeah, just a tough ball that Liz quite couldn't get to and get both hands on at the same time, and ultimately results in a double hit, which you'd love to see that rule trickle down here to the high school level that they got at the college level, because I think it's such a subjective thing, but that's the way it has to be called at this level, unfortunately.
Right. Well, the lack of, or the looseness on the hitting has increased over years, because years ago there's a lot of stuff that goes on now as Zionsville puts one in the net and Bellmont gets the side out. So 19-13, and it'll be Schofbach setting. But years ago, a number of the types of hits and responses that you allowed, you would never have been able to get away with that back then. And speaking of not getting away with anything, there's Mary Kate Scheinman just ropes one into the defense for Zionsville. Got a arm on it.
Yeah, so basically another refresher on that double hit rule at the college level. If you basically if the ball stays on your side of the net, it eliminates the double hit. There's no such thing as a double hit anymore. The only time there is if it goes over the net. So that's why you want to see that trickle down to the high school level, because there's going to be rotation on the ball every time as Jarvis comes up with another block at the net for another kill, as Bellmont now takes an 8-point lead here, just like that in this second set. But the double hit rule, it basically just takes out some of the subjectiveness of that call to the point where it's not such a judgment call anymore if it stays on your side of the net.
Well, a lot of times they look for spin on the ball. If if the setter hits it cleanly, it doesn't really spin. but that's not always the case. And there, Bellmont tries a back row hit from Gumbel, and she just doesn't put enough on it, gets into the net.
Yeah.
So 21-14.
And part of the reason it's such subjective and such a subjective call is because depending on how the ball comes in too, there's going to be spin on the ball no matter how you touch it sometimes as a setter. And so it just kind of takes away that judgment of a call for a referee and says, okay, if the ball stays on your side, it's okay.
And so there on the play, Bellmont scrambling a little bit. Bobet reaches, tries to just pop it over and catches the net. So it'll be another point. So 2 in a row here for Zionsville. It's 21-15 now in favor of Bellmont. Bellmont did win set number 1. And when you need a point, who do you go to?
Right back to the well. You go right back to Mary Kate Scheinman, her 6th kill of this second set already.
And really, they went elsewhere in the first set, most of it.
Yes.
But here in the second set, she's gotten a lot more involved.
Yeah, she has been the workhorse here in this second set so far. 6 kills, like I said. The only other one has been Cammie Jarvis with a pair of kills so far in this set.
So Gracie Riggs with the serve. There's that little backslide again by Zionsville. Picked up nicely, though, by Bellmont. And as they hit it over on the angle at the front net, it's not fielded cleanly. And Zionsville cannot return it, so it's a point Bellmont.
And another kill for Ella Ross.
Yes. And Riggs' serve, it has to be kind of rolled in from the back court by Imes, and Bellmont right at the net to block it down for the kill.
And guess who? Miss Do-It-All, Mary Kate Scheinman with the block that time in the net for the point. Sets up set point here for Bellmont.
I think you called her a Swiss Army knife
yes,
earlier,
I
which
did.
I'm not sure young people even know what that is. But those of us who have been around for a while, we fully get that one. And there's a nice block kill to finish off set 2, which is very typical of what's been happening. Belmont's real block game has really picked up the pace here in game number 2. So 25-15 is the total in set number 2, and Bellmont now with a 2-0 lead. This is best out of 5. A lot of these tournaments that you go to, they go best out of 3, but this is just simply an invitational where you're playing 2 opponents, and so they're going best out of 5 each way. Bellmont lost to Hamilton Southeastern in 3 straight this morning, but they now have a 2-0 lead over Zionsville.
Yeah, Mary Kate Scheinman so far, 10 kills, 3 aces, and a block to lead Bellmont, which is a far cry from what was happening earlier on this morning against Hamilton Southeastern. So you love to see her getting involved the way that she has been and leading this offense the way that she has. But really the key to that second set, for them to pull away, really they shut down Imes and Strecker for the most part. Imes just 2 kills during that set. Strecker just 1 kill during that set. So really they avoided getting a lot of big swings from those 2. And if they did, even if there were some swings, they were able to get such pressure at the net that it kind of nullified all of that. And
when Zionsville tried to go to a couple of their other options, Herman and I forget who the other one was that tried. They struggled a little bit. They were not able to come through, and like we mentioned earlier, Bellmont needing other options to come through. Zionsville, they got the 2 big girls, but if they don't have a 3rd or 4th that they can rely on, teams will set on them, and that's what Belmont's kind of been able to do.
Yeah, and some of it has been the pressure at the net because the Braves have been able to get their hands high at the net the way that they have. It's forced Zionsville to have to try and hit higher shots and hit higher and softer shots at times because you've been stuffed at the net so many times that you don't want it to happen. So you try and hit a little bit higher, and that way, and then balls start to sail on you a little bit, and that's what's happened here in that second set a little bit, giving Bellmont as many points as they did off of a lot of those errors.
And so we have a 2-0 lead for the Braves. The team's still in the huddles. That'll give me an opportunity to bring you a few more of our sponsors. Adams County Solid Waste is one of our sponsors for sports this year. Masters Heating, Cooling, and Air Conditioning. Innovative Concepts has really stepped up. They are one of our quarter sponsors for football contests and also for all sports. 9 Mile Restaurant. As I mentioned earlier, one of my favorites. Matter of fact, I may have to stop on the way home, Justin, and pick up a couple of orders of gizzards for myself and my son. My wife will not touch them, but Davis and I will jump into them pretty handily. Slusher Jewelry, which I think is out of Van Wert even, is one of our sponsors. Stormwater, and is one of our sponsors. Bixler Insurance, longtime sports sponsor for WZBD. DeVos, Baker, and Ainsworth is one of our sponsors, and they do an awful lot of sponsorship in the Decatur area. Three Rivers Federal Credit Union, Indiana Physical Therapy, Kelly Automotive, SureFlow Seamless Guttering, I've used them before, and Don Myers Heating and Cooling and Air Conditioning. So those are our sponsors. Again, once you hear them, if you go and do business with them, tell them you thank them for their sponsorship of sports on WZBD and on the YouTube channel, sponsored by WZBD, which is where we are currently. And if you are able to have found your way here and are listening to our broadcast, we appreciate you. Thank you for doing so. We hope to continue to expand our coverages in the Adams and Heritage area here for all of fall sports. So game number 3, Bellmont with a 2-0 lead. Hamilton Southeast, or there I go again, Zionsville. Zionsville gets it out to their big gun to start, and Josie Imes puts one down for the first kill.
Yeah, you think that was a point of emphasis from Coach Goldstein there between sets. Said, hey, let's get it to Strecker, let's get it to Imes. You know, we've done well when we've hit outside, and those two have been a big reason why.
Blocked at the net was Gumbel. Comes back over. Belmont has to kind of push it across. They go outside to Imes again. Picked up by Belmont, but a little slow reaction. They got it dug. It wasn't passed up very well, and if one of the girls would have recognized, they could have gotten it over at least on a free ball. But it's 2-0 Zionsville lead here in game number 3.
And Imes already matching her kill total from that second set here in the first 2 points of this third set.
And we kind of figured they'd probably go to her pretty
just a
handily.
little bit.
Yeah, and there's a nice shot by Ella Ross here on the weak side for Belmont, which Zionsville not able to pick up. They got a partial block on it and couldn't scoop it up.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to count as a kill for Ella, but you may as well count it as one because it did a good enough job and it got Belmont on the board and a side out for them, and now they're serving.
It's as effective as if she ripped it on the floor. You get a point
right
out of your hit. So, and speaking of ripping it on the floor, that was Imes. And now Belmont goes in the back row to Mary Kate Scheinman. She just gets on top of it a little too much into the net for an error. That's a hitting error for Scheinman. And Zionsville takes a 3-1 lead.
Yep, coming from behind that 10-foot line, and and just a little too much on it, and goes into the net. I don't think we haven't seen that too much from her so far in this match. So we're sure she'll get it rectified.
Strecker with the serve and an overpass by Mills, and put down judiciously by Imes at the net. And so it's 4-1 now.
3 kills in the first 4 points. You think they made it a point to try and go to Josie Imes?
Well, that one, it was Belmont that fed it
that
on
is
the
true.
overpass. It wasn't Zionsville purposely going there, but that's all right. Here we go now. Bobet gets it into Schoaf, who goes in between the blockers in the middle and goes down for a kill. So nice job by Bria Schoaf there to get her first kill of this third set.
Yeah, Bria Schoaf with just 2 kills so far on the day, but they've been big ones, and that one certainly hopefully can get momentum back to Belmont's side of the court.
And again, Bria Schoaf playing in the middle is not your biggest middle person up there for sure. And there's Imes again on the outside. I think she rotates to the back, and it's about time for Belmont because she is
she has had
enforcing
her way
her
so
will,
far.
yes, here in game number 3.
Yeah, 5 kills already in this first set.
Nope, she's still got one more rotation up there. So it is the setter Cunningham back to serve with a 5-2 lead for Zionsville. Fielded by the Braves. They go outside to Mary Kate off of the block and out. So it'll be, yeah, I was going to say, the officials not pointing the right way to start with. But
It took them a second, but they got the call right eventually.
She was well outside, took it right down the line, and the block kind of deflected even further out. So 3 serving 5. That is Schoaf with the serve. And Zionsville in the middle. Nice reach and dig by Gumbel. And Mary Kay Chyman on the far side with a roll in. There it comes up. It's going to be a battle at the net. And Coulter goes up and gets it and brings it down. That was a 50-50 at the net. She just went up high, got there first, and was able to tap it down.
Yeah, that's really all it was. It was an overpass from Zionsville's side of the ball. And Coulter just took advantage of it, went up and got it first on her side and put it right down.
Well, that was a nice Cloud serve, but Hamilton Southeastern does get it across, and there's another one of those double hits. And Coach Carroll looking like pleading with the official, like, or maybe he's pleading with Liz Bobet, I'm not sure, but that will send it back over on the side out to Zionsville. And we have 6-4 now the score. It is the Lady Eagles of Zionsville. I'm not even sure I've mentioned that yet this broadcast, but and on the weak side there, rolled in, picked up in the backcourt by the Lady Eagles over to Bellmont. Bobet goes outside to Shyman, and it's dug in the back, off of the ceiling, picked up. There's a nice dig on Belmont's side by Mills. Had to be free balled over. There's a shot in the middle, and this time Maddie Herman was successful, got it into the Bellmont block, went off the side and down for a Zionsville kill and point.
Herman's 3rd kill of the night from the middle for her, and puts the Eagles up 3 here early in this 3rd set.
And that's the other option that Zionsville has to have. Right now they've got both Strecker and Imes in the backcourt. And there's a shot that lands in the back line, a little off-speed shot by number 9. That's our
unnamed player.
Okay,
we're calling her Annalise Tibbs.
Annalise Tibbs. And if it's not, Annalise is getting a lot of credit here
yes, she is.
on our broadcast. So it's 8-4. And Zionsville actually, and just as I say it, there's a service error. But their play this 3rd set has been much crisper. And, and of course, you know, Imes has been able to put it down, but they've been passing the ball well, and it's been a little better play on their end.
Yes, it has. They've certainly passed the ball off a serve receive a lot better, and that slide play, which they just ran there, they've been hitting a lot easier too.
And Mary Kay Chyman gets blocked at the net, comes back, she gets another swing, she hits it off speed this time. So it is Herman with the shot, or that's our Annalise person. Bellmont with the shot by Shyman. Goes over to number 1, Lily Abney on the weak side, and she takes it off the Bellmont block and out for a kill.
Yeah, so, Lily Abney, 38 kills, a Northern Illinois commit coming into this one. 38 kills coming into this match today. Just a junior, just the first time we're seeing her get on the score sheet today.
Yeah, she hasn't really been much of a factor yet, but she made a nice play on that last one. And Zionsville going out to our Tibbs girl, and she tries to go down the line and just goes just out of bounds.
I think
More
Bellmont
of a
can
push
kind of
than a hit.
I think Bellmont can kind of breathe a sigh of relief on that one. I thought it looked a little bit closer than from my perspective up here, but either way, it's a point for the Braves.
And Bellmont over to Gimbel, picked up on a nice dig on the other side. Zionsville with the push kill from Tibbs as she hits it into the Bellmont block. So it's just off speed enough that Bellmont not able to get a good swat on it. And now it's 10-6, and Zionsville has their biggest lead of the day.
Yeah.
Bellmont did win sets 1 and 2. They are up 2-0. Zionsville trying to extend this match. And into the back row, and that was a back row kill by a kill attempt by Imes. It hit the net, but from the angle she hit it, it rolled then off the net dead sideways.
Yeah, Zionsville wanted to touch the net, and it certainly looked like it might have caught a piece of the Bellmont block, but But hey, it's that's not how the referees ruled it, and it's a point for the Braves.
Well, if they don't actually see the touch, they really can't call it.
Nope.
So, nice scramble that time there by Schoaf. Over, though, to Zionsville. There's that wraparound, picked up by Bellmont, and now a little over from Scheiman. Goes out to Herman, to Tibbs. And Tibbs with the shot goes over and out. Katie Mills in the back court kind of reached for it and then pulled her arms in. A little question as to whether she actually touched it or not. They ruled she did not, and she will get the serve again.
Yeah,
Mills.
Zionsville asking for a touch there on that one again, but not able to get it.
And
miscommunication on that serve, and they're going to get another point for the Braves.
And it's one of those where a couple of calls kind of went against you there. You could have gone either way, and 2 in a row, and that's the way it kind of seems to happen when a team goes on a run like that.
Yeah, and now Coach Olivia Goldstein calling timeout, just trying to not let things snowball, not let Bellmont really back into this match. But Coach Carroll's certainly hoping they can take advantage of a few calls that went their way and try and see what they can do from here.
Well, and in the sequence of an entire match, generally those kind of go both ways. But
yes.
It always seems like at the wrong time it goes the other way for you when it's your side that gets affected.
Yeah, it's a 3-0 run here for Bellmont, and really to no credit of their own, it's been errors, it's been mishits on Zionsville's side, and so what was a 10-6 lead for the Eagles is now all of a sudden trimmed to 10-9, and they're looking at a timeout like, okay, let's settle down, which is what Coach Carroll, took a timeout to do, in set number 1 and 2 when Zionsville started to make a couple of runs.
So Mills back to serve again. Belmont's leading server as far as aces and points go, and that one's off the back, and they're going to have to kind of roll it over. Bellmont with a good chance here on the offense. They go over to Gumbel, and she's just a little late getting up on that one. I'm not sure why. That set was pretty good, but she got a little late and rolled it right into the net.
I was going to say, seemed like a good set to the outside to me. Just Alyssa might have been a little unsure on where that ball was going to be, but either way, she comes down a little late on it, and it hits it into the net.
And again, kind of a timing thing.
Yeah.
So Zionsville now serving with the 11-9 lead. Nice pass up there by Mills, and Ross with a little dink, and over to Imes. She's not going to dink it, but it's picked up nicely by Mills in the backcourt. Over to Gumbel, and it's dug nicely by Zionsville. Back over to Imes, and she gets picked up. Here comes Mary Kay Scheiman from the backcourt, and she hits it off of the libero in the back and goes out of bounds for a kill.
Yeah, we've seen Mary Kate send a couple of those balls long, send a couple of them short. Good to see her get that ball right where she wanted to be, and I think that tells us that she's right back dialed in where she needed to be.
Well, she's not going to quit swinging.
No, she's not.
And she's been around enough and done this enough that I don't think she's going to get down on herself if she sails one or if she rolls one. She knows what she needs to do.
Yeah.
And so it is now 10 serving 11. Bobet back to serve for the Braves. Coulter comes into the front court.
And let's see how this affects the Bellmont passing with Bobet back into this match.
And so Zionsville has to free ball it over. Bellmont gets it outside. Gumbel gets something on it, but Imes with it. Nice dig by Scheiman, and coming back in, and Scheiman's going to just set it into the hole. There was a little opening in the middle of the Zionsville defense, and Scheiman from the back row pushed up into it and got it. Ties the third game here at 11. 11 all. Bellmont again with the first 2 games. They're up 2-0. Zionsville needs to win this one to extend it. Little tip at the net, and Bobet with a nice effort can't get to it, and it'll be side out to Zionsville.
Good effort there from Bellmont to not let things snowball and get back into this third set and ultimately make it pretty competitive. Now let's see if they can make some kind of a run and take control here.
So Strecker with the serve, Bellmont up at the net, and a little quick set on Zionsville's side, and Maddie Herman puts that one down at an angle. Herman is a junior, and she's not one of the really, she's fairly tall. She's just not as thick and muscular and mature, I guess, but she can get up and puts that one down. Scheinman tries to push another one over, and Imes was on the other side saying, no, I got that one.
What a dig by Katie
nice.
Mills.
Oh, and then there's a dump on their own side by Zionsville into the hole at Bellmont's side. So the
yeah, Maya Cunningham, she's a Marion University commit, so she's going to be staying local to the Indianapolis area, but she kind of leads the way offensively for that Zionsville team. 295 set assists coming into the day today, and picks up a kill there on the setter dump.
And there's another back set, but they wasn't high enough, so Mary Kay just shoves it over. Imes with the shot, blocked at the net, back over. Imes again with the shot. This time Doug and Bobet went up to set it and kind of got partially blocked. Back over to Belmont's side now. There's Scheinman, puts it outside to
Gumble.
That was Gumble, yeah. Her ponytail had the number covered. And into the corner, a little push kill from Imes. She didn't swing at that one. She just shoved it in the corner. And it'll be another point for Zionsville as they go up 15-11. So Bellmont had made a little run to come from down 4 to tie it at 11. And just like that, a little 4-point run by Zionsville, and they're up 4, 15-11. Strecker back. She gets it in, picked up by Gumble. Gumble from the middle goes up and nobody in front of her, and she just places it cross court for the kill.
Yeah, good set there from Liz Bobet into the middle of the court for Gumble, who comes in from the back line to go ahead and put that one down.
And so Zionsville going out to Imes, and the set was her timing was off on a little bit, so she just tipped it, and it was just off speed enough that Bellmont couldn't recover. Another kill for Imes, and she's racking them up here in this game.
Yeah, she's up to 8 kills already here in this third set alone, up to 13 for the match, which is tied with Mary Kate Scheinman for the lead here in this match.
16 serving 12. Bellmont again with the 2-set lead, I should say, but Zionsville leading here in set number 3. And they go on the weak side, and that was over to Abney, who hit it pretty good, but Belmont's block able to send it right back down, and Zionsville unable to pick it up.
For as good as that Bellmont block was in those first 2 sets, it's been a little absent here in the third, which it's good to see them get some hands up and be a little active at the net, and we'll see if that can create a little havoc for them moving forward.
Schoaf with a nice serve, but nice pickup. And there's a little off-speed on the outside by Abney that Belmont's block picks up and off of Zionsville out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Kaylee Coulter. That's 2 blocks in a row. She's gotten her hands up, able to get a hand on both of those balls and come up with 2 big blocks there to get a couple of points for the Braves.
Schoaf with the serve. Goes into the deep corner, fielded by Imes. Cunningham takes it back to Imes, up at the top, blocked at the net, comes back down though. And another swing in the middle, this one with authority by Herman, and she gets past the Bellmont block and down for a kill.
Yeah, Mary Kate Scheinman able to get a block there at the net on the first attempt by Zionsville, but Herman just a little too much from the middle there that second time around.
So Imes goes to the backcourt, Strecker's on the bench, so this is the rotation that does not feature one of the 2 big girls on the front for the Lady Eagles, but they have a 17-14 lead, and they're going outside, and that set was a little low, but Scheinman, there's the veteran play, knowing the game, and she went up and knew she couldn't rip at it, so she just dinks it into the hole.
Yeah, she knew she was going off speed that whole time that she was coming in for that swing, and just great placement, knew she wasn't going to try and get it over the block, and just perfectly puts it down.
And there's a service error by Gracie Riggs, who came in at that moment. So Bellmont hasn't had too many of those here in this match. They've had maybe 3 or 4 service errors the entire match so far.
Yeah.
But that one a little bit costly as they're down 18-15. And the libero for Zionsville with the serve. And Bellmont goes out to Mary Kate Scheinman, but she hits the antenna from the weak side here as she tries to kill, and it'll be point Zionsville.
Yeah, and all the things that this team was doing so well in those first 2 sets included not having a lot of those service and hitting errors, and they're having a lot more of those now this time around here in this third set, which is allowing Zionsville to take this 5-point lead here.
So Zionsville coming back, showing their grit and moxie after losing the first 2 sets, have come back, and now they're up 20-15 in set number 3 with only 5 points to go and up 5. You're in control. You kind of expect to be able to serve this one out, but just like that, the other team can go on a 4 or 5 point run, and we'll see what happens here. See how Bellmont responds.
Yeah. Coach Carroll taking a timeout here, just trying to settle his team down a little bit, say, let's get back to the things we were doing so well in these first couple of sets and try and get back in this ball game. They want to go home. They don't want to extend this any longer than they have to, but it's one of those things where you're saying, hey, settle down. We played so well those first couple of sets. Let's get back to the basics and what we do well and what we were doing well.
Well, and it's going to start with a serve reception here. You got to get the first pass up. If you get this up, then everything else can follow from there. But if you don't, it'll be another point on Zionsville's side. There's the pass up. Gracie Riggs goes out to Ella Ross, and her little cross court goes down the line, or down the net line, more or less, and Zionsville not able to get up there, and so Bellmont answers.
Yeah, Ella with a nice little cut shot there to try and get it inside that 10-foot line, and Zionsville just not able to quite make the play at the net.
Oh, and there's one that comes off of the net and landed right in front of Ross. She was trying to get to it. She just couldn't get her body forward enough, and so kill for
Lily Abney, I believe.
There you go. And Zionsville now is 21-16. Number 4 is Claudia Antcliffe, defensive specialist. She's serving. And Bellmont with the shot in the middle from Cammie Jarvis, and Zionsville recovered, tried to go outside to Strecker, but her attempt is long. Bellmont's side out. 21-17, Zionsville lead. Bellmont up 2-0 in the match. Mills back to serve. See if she can put together a run, and she serves it long. Trying to get to the back line, and it just sailed on her. And so it'll be a service error. And it's 22-17, Lady Eagles. I'm getting to see some pretty good volleyball today between these teams. Some of the top teams in the 4A range.
Absolutely are.
And there's Mary Kate Scheinman gets a nice push set kill as she just finds a hole back in the corner. Not all of hers are rocket shots.
No, and that's the thing that makes her such a good player. She's smart.
Yeah.
She knows she doesn't have to go and give her all on every single swing, on every single jump. She just has to find the hole in the defense, and she's done just that.
Well, and that's a vision thing, and that's not the product of being 6 foot or any of that stuff. That's just being a player.
Yeah, absolutely is.
So a nice block at the net by the Braves. Zionsville with their own block at the net, and picked up Doug back over on Bellmont's side. Ross with the weak side hit, partially blocked at the net. Imes now, and that Bellmont gets a hand on that, goes outside to Gumble, and Gumble goes off the block and down for the kill. So both sides had their opportunities on that point. Bellmont ends up getting the one that goes to the floor, and they're back to 19-22.
And maybe that point right there is the one that Bellmont needs to kind of get back into this set.
Bobet with the serve on the slide, Strecker. Bellmont with it, and it goes outside to Gumble, and on the block, one of the Zionsville ladies goes into the net. And so Bellmont with the point, and now it's 20-22, and now they find themselves just down 2. Nice little comeback at the end of the third set here. Bobet with the service. And over on the line, and they're going to have to scramble. It'll be a free ball. Here comes the Braves. Scheinman up to Bobet into the middle.
Oh.
Quick set. Schoaf couldn't quite get it down, but was able to get a pressure. Comes back to Bellmont. Gumble off of the block, and it'll be free balled over once again. There comes Mills, gets it over to Bobet. She goes behind to Coulter on the weak side. Nice back set to Coulter, and she doesn't rip it, but puts enough on it to get it down, and another kill for Coulter, and it's 21-22 as Bellmont has climbed back into this third set.
Yeah, they sure have. They've ever since that timeout that Coach Carroll took, they've kind of just gritted and grinded their way back into this set, and they're back within one. And and hey, all they got to do is take 4 of the next 5 points, and they can walk away with a victory if they do that.
Well, it's been a 5-1 run here. They were down 16-21, so they were down 5 at that point, and were able to run off 5 points here, giving up only 1 in between. Those are, again, volleyball, such a game of momentum. You thought that Bellmont looked like they might be dead in the water this third set, and here they go. They get some good play going. They get, make a couple nice digs and a couple blocks at the net, not down for kills, but got enough on them to keep Imes from tearing them up.
Yeah, they get the energy back up. They get the energy going and get talking again and get back to what they were doing in those first couple of sets. And it's like a magic potion almost. It gets them right back to where they need. And now the momentum seems to be on their side. And hopefully after this timeout, they can keep it rolling.
Now they're still down in this third set, 22-21, getting close to the end here. They don't have a lot of points to work with, but the momentum is on their side. Let's see if the Zionsville timeout changes things. And right away, there's a service ace.
There's an ace for Bobe.
And we're all knotted up at 22. And that was as much, I think, a serve-receive error as it was an ace. It really wasn't hit anything special, but the reception for Zionsville was lacking. There you go, back into the corner to the same person, and Zionsville able to get it up to Strecker in the middle, and she's able to put it down. So the 6'3" center middle hitter successful, and now Zionsville up 23-22.
Yeah, just her first kill of the set here, but definitely a big one to swing things back in favor of Zionsville now at 23-22 and needing just 2 points to extend this match to a fourth set.
And so Strecker goes back to serve. Again, dribbles the ball like a basket. I'm wondering if she plays basketball too. I would think she does at 6'3". So in any case, there's a nice pass up to Bobe. Bobe into the middle to Gumbel with a nice hit. Rattles around the blockers for a little bit and goes down. And we're knotted up at 23. Bellmont with the serve and the chance to take command here and finish this match off.
Yeah, you were wondering if Strecker plays basketball. I know Zionsville girls basketball team sure hope that she does.
Yeah. And there's a rip as Zionsville answers by going to their number 1 option, and Imes with the cross-court shot that spun in and hit right on the line in the deep corner. So 24-23, Zionsville now serving for game point or set point here in set number 3. Bellmont again has won the first 2. Zionsville looking to try to stay alive. Mills with the pass up to Bobe. Bobe to Scheiman, who hits it off the block, and it ricochets out of bounds. Kill for Scheiman. And you kind of knew where that one was going if they got the pass, and they sure did.
Yeah, now that Mary Kate's rotated back into the front row, you can expect to see a heavy dose of setting her on the outside as they try and, steal this set away from Zionsville.
And Bria Schoaf with the set, forces the free ball, but Bellmont kind of let that land, and they had the free ball themselves. So Zionsville now with the advantage. They go outside to Imes, and she rips it off the center blocker. And that was the play before that actual part of the play where Bellmont had the free ball coming their way. They had control, and if they get that under control and get it out to Scheiman, I think that's a different result.
Yeah, I think so too. And you saw Mary Kate, she was expecting someone else to go for that ball, and it nearly fell to the floor. So a miscommunication and ultimately results in a point for Zionsville when it could have been one easily for Bellmont.
Well, and Bellmont gets back, answers. Nice pass up by Mills on the serve reception. Nice set by Bobe and a nice slam from MK Scheiman. And we're back knotted at 25.
And Selking's back into the game now. Riggs is back into the game now in favor of Bobe. So we'll see how that affects the setting game, the passing game, and see if that plays into anything.
Well, that's the rotation when they're doing a 6-2, and there's an ace serve, and that will turn the tide back to Bellmont. They now have the advantage at 26-25.
And match point.
And we're at match point the other way. Zionsville had that a little bit ago. And there's a pretty nice serve in the middle. And there's that little slide to the back. Bellmont fields it. They're going to have to free ball it over, though. So Zionsville now with the opportunity. They go back on the weak side. Scheinman got a piece of the block, but it hit it into the antenna. And Zionsville staves off the set point, and we're tied at 26. Neither side wanting to give up on this set and this game.
No kidding. This has been an exciting set so far, an exciting back and forth one.
Oh, and they went on the weak side, and Mary Kate Scheinman from the weak side hits it, and they were looking for a touch, and
yeah, they wanted a touch real bad.
Nobody saw one.
Everyone on the Bellmont side a little shocked.
As that one went deep, and so now 27-26 Zionsville with the serve. They go out to Ross, and her shot is overpassed, but Bellmont can't do much with it. Now it's over on the Zionsville side. They go inside to Strecker. She has to punch it over. Bellmont now on the weak side goes to Mary Kate. Her shot hits the net, but it's over. There's a deep throw by Imes. Bellmont now on the back slide to Mary Kate. Now Zionsville looking to push one in. And out wide to Ross. It's tipped at the net again. And finally, Cammie Jarvis just backhands it with her right hand as Ross had to kind of flick it off the net up in the air. And it's a kill for Jarvis, and Bellmont gets the point. Now we're tied at 27.
Bellmont saw their lives kind of flash before their eyes a couple moments there during that set.
They do have the advantage of having won the first two. And there's an overpass on this Mary Kate Scheinman serve, and she rips it from the back row but into the net as she was trying to put this one away. And it goes back over to Zionsville. 28-27 here in set three. Zionsville with the lead. Another set point on their end.
You wonder how many set points Bellmont can stave off before Zionsville gets one.
Yeah, and Bellmont goes out to Gumbel, picked up in the middle, but the dig goes up and hits. There's a rafter up in the ceiling, and Justin mentioned earlier we're in the auxiliary gym. Maybe not quite the height, although it's a pretty good sized gym. Anyway, came off of the rafter and down on Zionsville side. Bellmont gets the advantage.
Good swing there from Melissa Gumbel, though, to get a little power behind that one and force that kind of a ball.
Absolutely. So Mills with the serve, and on the attack, the shot from the outside here from Tibbs hits the antenna, and Bellmont now with their chance at match point. And you kind of wonder, after Zionsville's had 3 or 4 of those in this game, if they get down a little bit here. Oh,
what a
nice
dig.
Nice dig, nice dig, nice push. Now Zionsville, though, has a chance here. They go into Strecker, and she goes wide. It's out of bounds. And Bellmont comes back in set number 3 to take it 30-28 and win the match by a 3-0 count.
Talk about a gutsy win for Bellmont there. Down to set point multiple times. Backs against the wall, and somehow they stave off the point. They're able to come back, force overtime, and win that set 30-28. You just saw a lot of resolve there from the Braves. They got down 4 or 5 multiple times early on in the frame, and they just ultimately battled back and did a very, very good job there.
Yeah, Zionsville had 4 different match points in that stretch. They were up 24-23, 25-24, 27-26, and 28-27. Bellmont staved all 4 of those off. Bellmont had one of their own at 26-25 that Zionsville was able to work through. But then at 29-28, able to get the final point on the attempt that went wide from Zionsville. So we're going to take a minute or two here. Not exactly going back to the studio, but we need to kind of gather ourselves a little bit. So you might hear a little bit of silence for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then we'll come back and give a wrap up on this match and on the day. All right, so let's wrap this particular matchup in the Carroll Invitational on Saturday afternoon. And in the second game of the day, Bellmont taking on Zionsville. Bellmont with a 9-4 record after losing in the morning to Hamilton Southeastern. And Zionsville, I'm not sure, did they win the morning match against Carroll? Or
I'm not sure.
I didn't see who won that.
I don't believe they did. I think Carroll likely won that game if I had to check. Let me check.
I'll let you research while I give the wrap up. So Bellmont comes in and able to take the first game by a score of 25-23. In set number 2, a little more dominant score-wise, although, again, it was very close most of the way through until Bellmont was able to take a 5-0 run, leading 13-12, and they advanced it to 17-12, and then a 4-0 run at the end salted it away for 25-15. In game number 3, Zionsville came out with the lead and held the lead most of the way until we got to the very end. They at one point had a 5-point lead at 22-17. Bellmont kept fighting their way back into it, and with things knotted up at 23-23, we ended up with 4 match point or set points, I should say, for Zionsville and 2 match points for Bellmont, and it's Bellmont who's able to come away at 29-28 with the final point and win set number 3 30-28 and win the match 3-0. So with some of the stats for this particular match,
Carroll did indeed take that first match against Zionsville earlier today. So Zionsville goes 0-2 on the day. Bellmont goes 1-1. But for the match against Zionsville, Mary Kate Scheinman, stellar. Once again, just stellar, fantastic. 17 kills, according to our statistics at least, so in nowhere are these official, but 17 kills, 3 aces, and a block for Mary Kate. 7 of her 17 kills coming in that final set. We had Ella Ross with 3 kills. We had Kaylee Coulter, with 4 kills. We had Bria Schoaf with a pair of kills, 2 aces, and a block. We also had Alyssa Gumbel with 6 kills, 4 of which came in that final set. And then we also had Cammie Jarvis with 6 kills herself, 3 of which came in that final set. A good day serving-wise for Bellmont from the service line in the second matchup. They had 10 aces just themselves there in that final match. And then from Zionsville's side of things, what can you say? Josie Imes was stellar and the go-to girl for him all day. The future Alabama product, having 15 kills to lead the way for the Eagles, 10 of them coming in that final set. Not wanting to go home as early as she did, but able to do everything she could. 15 kills for her to lead the way. A couple other girls, Ellie Stricker added 5 kills, and so did Maddie Herman for Zionsville in the loss.
And in that third set, Maddie Herman got most of her scoring there at the end, and she gave him that third option, which is why I think they were more successful in that third set. Imes was obviously still
she was
dominant, but and in overall, and watching and looking at it, looked like Bellmont just had maybe 1 or 2 more options overall. And the floor play was just a little better. The serve reception was just a little better, and sometimes that's all it takes to be the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bellmont, I think at the start of that third set, struggled to do the things that they were doing in those first couple, getting their hands up, getting blocks at the net, and really kind of scrambling the way that they did during those first couple. And during that during the later stages of that third set, and that's why you saw Maddie Herman be so successful, I think, in that third set. But then in that third, later in the set, you kind of saw, anyone that wasn't Josie Imes kind of go quiet a little bit. And I think that was just because Bellmont did such a good job of getting hands up, getting opportunities at the net for blocks, and ultimately taking care of business in that way.
So on the day, Bellmont goes 1-1. Not totally unexpected. You wanted to come out of here with at least one victory.
Yeah.
I think they probably were a little disappointed on some of the way that Hamilton Southeastern match went in terms of, when Hamilton Southeastern forces it at you, there's not much you can do. But they left some opportunities that Bellmont didn't really take advantage of at times. Don't know if it had been enough to be able to take them anyway, but they certainly came back and really played a much tighter match here against Zionsville.
Yeah, they absolutely did. They seemed like they woke up almost a little bit, and I don't know if they were playing tense because they knew it was the #1 team in the state, anything like that. Like, you don't think they should, but you don't know how the girls react by any stretch of the imagination. But it was a good bounce back for them in that second match. HSC obviously is a very good team, and they're going to force you to do things that you don't want to do. That, they're going to put you in positions that you don't want to be in because they're just that good. That's just the way HSC is. But I think this is a moment and this is a weekend that you see Bellmont build on moving forward. You get swept by Hamilton Southeastern, but you show the resolve to come back the way you did and take 3 sets the way you did against Zionsville. And this is something that you build on for a group that only has 2 seniors and, a freshman on the court that's on the court a lot. A lot of juniors. I'm counting 6 juniors, I believe, on this roster. So a lot of girls that still have a lot of growing to do. And this is a weekend that you kind of take and say, okay, we're going to watch the film. We're going to learn what we did against Hamilton Southeastern, and we're going to take that moving forward and be better for it.
And you mentioned the one freshman, Kaylee Coulter, and I really thought that she took a step forward in that match, and that's got to give her some confidence moving forward. And I also thought that the setting play just steadily kept getting better.
Yes.
From the first match to the second, and I think as the season goes on, now you got 3 girls that have all had a chance to be out there, and sometimes you don't get that opportunity this early in the season. And so Gracie Riggs really came in and did a nice job. Lily Selking made some nice plays at times. She had a little rough patch in the middle, and I think that's why Coach Carroll went kind of away from her. But she certainly could be your option out there if you need to. And Bobet, we talked about, was pretty solid most of the way when she was in there.
Yeah, it seemed like I said multiple times, I think they made a lot of their headway when Liz Bobet was in the game, and that's when they started to make a lot of their runs, and it seemed like they were more comfortable with her just out on the floor, and it seemed like they were a little bit crisper on some of their passing. Not to say that Gracie Riggs or Lily Selking are bad by any stretch of the imagination, because they're not. They did some very good things, but it's just some areas that this group is going to have to grow in, especially if Coach Carroll is going to want to rotate these setters, because you're going to have to get comfortable with all 3 girls on the floor at some point in time, and it's just going to be one of those things where that cohesion will continue to build as the season goes on.
Well, and the previous setters they had were tall enough that they could play the front row and be blockers as well as being setters. Neither Riggs or Bobet or Selking, for that matter, are particularly tall, and so you lose something on the front of a blocker if you try to stick with a 5-1 with those 2.
Yeah.
So credit to them to do that. Justin, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Had a great time with this. Maybe we'll get a chance to work together again
I hope
sometime.
so. That'd be a lot of fun.
Whether it's volleyball or football or who knows what, but really enjoyed having you with us.
Yeah, appreciate you.
So on the day, Bellmont loses to Hamilton Southeastern by a 3-0 count, but they come back and they defeat Zionsville by a 3-0 count. On the radio this week for WZBD, our next broadcast will be a volleyball match on Tuesday night, Adams Central at Heritage. That'll be on the radio side of things, 92.7 FM, God willing, and the technology works. And that'll be myself and Coach Ken Arnold. bringing you that one. And then on Thursday, it'll be Leo at Heritage. So we will have our teams at Heritage twice this week. That one will be Rex Brewer on the call. And I believe Arnold might be working with him on that night as well. But that's your next 2 volleyball broadcasts. And, of course, Friday night, we have a couple more ball games to bring to you. So enjoyed it. Justin Prince sitting in with me today has been a joy and a pleasure. We've had a good time. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the broadcast. And so at this point, I think we send it over to, at 1:30, it goes to the Cubs pregame on WZBD radio. So you're on the YouTube channel. That doesn't really matter. But if you switch over to the radio side, 92.7, you'll get the Cubs pregame as the Cubs try to get back into the playoff setting. I think they're about 4 games back right now. And they got a little bit of work to do yet, but they've been playing better as of late. So you Cubs fans out there, and I got to include myself on that one, we're still hopeful. We're still hanging in there, but let's see what they can do. So for the aforementioned Justin Prince, this is Mike Mackey, and for today we are signing off saying so long.